के बाद it's difficult to be awake and to focus on the discussions and the deliberations that are taking place over here. But still, I would request a bit of your attention to the issue that I would like to focus on. I would like to bring some of the issues to your consideration over here. Sir suggested me to speak on the International Convention on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, which came into force in 2007. In this regard, India also has signed on this convention. We are the signatory and we have also ratified this. We haven't ratified the International Convention which is brought in by the World International Labour Organization. But we have ratified this convention also with a clause or with our own submissions that when we talk about indigenous, India's entire population is indigenous, and therefore we need to understand the difference between the Western experiences and our own Indian experience. But before I talk on that, I would like to start off with Justice Hasnain's observations that generally we recognize that after the Second World War, this entire regime of human rights came into existence with the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. And therefore, when we talk about the human rights, I think human values and human rights are intrinsically connected. They cannot be seen in isolation or separate from each other. And therefore, when we talk about the human rights or the human rights regime that we have in place as of now in international bodies is also the reflection of the human values. So therefore, the human values that we have talked about, or the human rights which have been derived from the human values, are they really universal? That is also a question. When we talk about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and therefore there are some of the scholars, as Professor Mahabatra also in the first session observed, that the human rights cannot truly be considered as universal because they are not representative of the value system of the entire humanity as a whole. We can say that when the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was being adopted and was being drafted, so there were voices from all regions of the world, but all the representatives, for example, Hansa Mehta was one of the representatives of India. So, but Hansa Mehta was really a representative of the entire community of India? That is again a question. And here in this regard, tribal value system, the topic that we actually were supposed to be discussing here, is the tribal value system of India and the modern principles of human rights. I think this is one of the issues that we will have to deliberate about. This is the issue that I think Mani Satyendra Singh ji would put light on particularly. But starting off with Justice Hasnain's observations in the second session, we do not have human rights regime, and there are human rights laws drafted by us. The Western countries have given to us. That is also because of our colonial experiences. We did not have our own rule, and therefore we did not have our value system, which could have been incorporated into the lawmaking. Now, but as soon as we became independent, this is where we have to understand the importance of India's value system or India's traditions that we have talked in the first session. As soon as we adopted our constitution in 1950, immediately we made the provisions, for example, 5th schedule and 6th schedule to protect the lives and the values of Indian people. So the rights of indigenous people which have come into force in 2007, we accepted them in 1950 itself. That is how we have respected the value system. So some of the provisions which we all are aware of: Article 343D, reservation in panchayats; Article 330, reservation in the House of the People, then Article 332, reservation in the legislative assemblies. All these provisions are there, 5th schedule, 6th schedule, and then 1996 PESA Act, and then 2006 Forest Rights Act. So all these provisions we have subsequently made. Why have we done it? Before, international community has come up with a convention in the year 2007. I think that has to be located in the India's value system. Here in this regard, हम लोग कहते हैं नगरवासी, ग्रामवासी, वनवासी, the three parallel traditions. The people dwelling in the civilized areas or the civil areas, the rural areas, and the people residing in the hills and forests. All these communities were parallelly living and parallelly cooperating. There was not antagonism between these communities. On the other hand, in the context of the Western societies, particularly North America and the South America, Latin America, and many other parts of the world, where there is a huge fight for the indigenous people's rights. We know in the recent history, after Industrial Revolution, the most of the Western colonizers went there and ethnically cleansed most of those indigenous people in North America and in South America. And that is the recent history and known history. On the other hand, in India, where are we going to settle at? Before the Christian colonial experience, and prior to that, to an extent we can say, the Islamic aggressions that have taken place on this land, we do not have anybody, we do not have any record of anybody coming from outside and subjugating the local people. Now there is, most of these scholars cite the Aryan invasion theory, but then Aryan invasion theory stands debunked on many counts. And therefore the veracity of that theory has come under the scholarly questioning on many other records. And therefore,
3 minutes to all. 3 minutes to all.
in a minute's time I am going to conclude it. So therefore, in India, what my postulate is that in India we have three civilizations, or the complementary civilization. Nagar ki sabhyata, Gramo ki sabhyata, or Vano ki sabhyata. All these three civilizations work as complementary civilizations, and whenever there was a need to complement, they complemented. For example, in Vedas we have the mention of the Panchajana. One of them was Nishad, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and the Nishad. And all of them had equal place in decision making for the society. That's how the society existed. And the Western experience is that after Industrial Revolution, the colonial experiences that the colonizers went and ethnically cleansed those populations, totally, these populations went into forests and hills to protect themselves from the colonial subjugation. And it was only after the Second World War, when the United Nations came into being, they started demanding for their rights, and therefore, in certain quarters, the rights of self-determination also. So those experiences cannot be put into our own experiences, and therefore, the human rights that we have talked about cannot be universal, or at the moment we cannot say that. Definitely, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and then civil and political rights and economic and cultural rights, the two covenants subsequently which were adopted in 1966, they are step in the right direction, but they cannot be considered as the ultimate the document. As we know, there are optional protocols which have been adopted. I think in this regard also, when we are talking about human rights and human values, there are certain values like the values of the tribal communities in India, because they are the upholders, and I say because they have remained untouched and unsubjugated for a very long time. So they have their own value systems on which I think Satyendra Singh is going to talk about, but those values also have to be incorporated when we are talking about the human rights globally. Thank you.
शुक्रिया मैं थोड़ी आपसे सुनने वाले को स्पीकर के तौर पे मैं श्री सतेंद्र सिंह जी को सुनना